SEMO head coach Tom Matukewicz. The Redhawks coming off a 38-30 loss against nationally ranked UT Martin. They'll be at home this week. They're going to host Eastern Illinois in a conference matchup. Coach, thoughts on your team, and then we'll go to some questions about your team.
Yeah, I think the big takeaway was we showed a lot of character. It got to where, could have got blown out, 3 scores towards the end, but our kids found a way to get it within a score twice. And so that says a lot just about how they responded to some adversity and, things like that. So lots to build on. Certainly have a lot of respect for UT Martin, coach and his staff, and a really good football team, and learned a lot about them. And, hopefully we can get it to where when we play them again, it means something.
I want to ask you about, we talked about Geno. It's not specific about him, but he had another good rushing game. Just looking at the OVC in general, there's 5 running backs in the top 26 nationally in rushing yards. Geno is 4th. And then in rushing touchdowns, it's actually 6 of the top 50 people nationally rushing. So you haven't seen every OVC team, but just thoughts about rushing in general across the OVC this year.
Well, it's definitely different. A lot more running football teams. TSU and UT Martin definitely are different. And so, it's a different league as far as being able to run the ball more, and certainly some really, really quality backs.
And you've had some, you had Santa Catarina and some quarterbacks who you threw the ball a little bit more. How do you determine if you're going to be more of everyone wants to be maybe balanced, but if you're going to be more of a running team as a passing game, it's obviously the players, but is it the offensive line too? If you got certain talent up front, that's going to dictate, I'm going to run the ball more, I'm going to throw the ball more.
Yeah, for sure. You got to do what your players can do, knowing though, if you can only do one, you're going to have people are going to be good enough to stop that. And so you got to have balance. But it is, I think our biggest struggle since I've gotten here is just recruiting O-line. All these little people are easy to find. I mean, they're coming out of the woodwork. You can find wideouts and DBs everywhere, but O-line's a little harder to find, and you can't just recruit them ready-made. You got to develop them. So it comes down to doing a great job evaluating them and all those things. And some quarterbacks will, like Daniel Santa Catarina was a great deep ball guy, or he had great touch on longer balls and things like that. So just kind of depends putting it all together. Obviously I believe that you got to be able to run the ball to win, but you got to be able to throw the ball to score. And so, even as us as a football program offensively, we're getting better in those areas. And so hopefully, that our passing game keeps improving, and CJ Akbana is doing a better job each and every week, and certainly proud of his progress.
I want to ask you about your kicker, and Kenny was the national specialist a couple weeks ago. But as you're talking about, as you're getting back into that game, he made all 3 of his field goals, all of his PATs, and I'm counting here. I think he's made 4 kicks in a row and 6 of his last 7. So just what he's been doing for your team. Yeah,
so proud and happy for him. He was a kid. We had a good field goal kicker that ended up not just went on to do life. So we ended up not having a guy in spring. We kind of signed him late, and all of a sudden he showed up and kicked in the spring. And I think he thought he was better than the results he got in the spring. And he really focused and worked to improve himself. And he's seeing the process and the work that he put in pay off. And our team's certainly better for that also. So we're proud of him a lot.
Eastern Illinois, they are obviously not coming off a shutout win, but take that one, or shutout loss, take that aside. They've basically been in every game they've played. They've just come up short a bunch of times. Thoughts on what you've seen of them?
Yeah, impressed, just from the effort and the fundamentals and all those things. It obviously is coached, because every single year you watch them and they have that same mentality. So impressed. I think just like anything, offensively, they turn it over. They're not very good. And when they take care of the football, they got a shot. Defensively, very stout, nationally ranked in the top 10 in several categories. And so they do a great job. We have to try to get them in passing situation, be able to try to take the ball away. But sometimes that's, you count on offense doing that a little bit too. So hopefully they don't get it fixed for this week and we're able to turn them over a little bit.
You mentioned their ranking. They're fourth in pass defense, and sometimes that's if you allow a lot of rush, you're not as good in pass. I don't think that's the case here, though. But looking through their defensive roster, they have several people who have made big plays for them this year, including their linebacker who's leading the OVC in tackles. So, do you feel that their pass defense, that's their strength, but just totally on defense, they've been doing a good job?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of the better defenses in the league for sure. And what's impressive is really that a lot of their better players are young. And so they're doing a tremendous job recruiting and developing those guys. We're going to have a huge challenge this weekend.
Now you're coming off games that didn't count in the OVC standings, but you're still 2-1 in the conference, just one game back, first place. How do you? Obviously that's important going into this game. Then you're going to have your open date for 2 games, but is that trying to keep, even though you wanted to win every game, you're still 2-1 in OVC.
Yeah, it's just a crazy year, and losing has its price. I don't care what anybody says, whether the game means something or not. It meant something all week long when we worked our tails off to try to win. And so to come up short, it's tough, but based on how the last couple of days have gone, I think our team's ready. I think we found out, what it is we got to be able to do to, win the next 3. And so now we just got to go try to do that. It's nice that you're still in it and have that extra motivation. But at the end of the day, the last 2 don't matter if this one doesn't matter. And I know we'll be ready to play Saturday because it's homecoming. It's home, we're gonna have all kinds of people there, parents and friends and all that. It's just, are you excited Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for the preparation that it takes to be able to play well on Saturday? Just because you're excited Saturday, that doesn't mean you're going to play well if you didn't prepare well through the week. But I have a good feeling. So hopefully, we can put all this together and beat a good football team.
Coach, thanks for your time this morning. Best of luck in that game on Saturday, and we'll talk to you next Tuesday.
Thanks, Kyle.